Hey everybody, this is Daniel. I want to cover some of the recent appointments that Donald Trump has made to his cabinet and why I think they matter. Not just going to share these, without giving some good reasons for it. And then I also want to end today with a little bit of a light, fun story because we talk about politics so much here. That's what I dig into because I care about people and this stuff affects people. But I think maybe we can end with a little bit of a lighter story today. So first of all, you may notice I have a haircut. Yes, I do. I needed one desperately. My wife is very happy for it. She got a little tired of being with somebody who looks like they're a quarter of the way through a werewolf transformation. So I finally look like a decent looking human being. So let's jump into the first story. I want to jump right into this first one. They all matter in different ways, but this one I find very interesting. So Trump has named Linda McMahon, the wife of WWE billionaire Vince McMahon, as the small business administrator. Okay, so she's going to head up the small business group. And I find this to be interesting. She's going to head the small business administration. And I find this interesting, mainly because of the journey of trying to figure out what this meant. So when I first heard it, I went back in my mind to the days of when I used to watch the WWE. And when I watched it was the WWF, and it was The Rock, Stone Cold, it was Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, Mark Henry. I loved watching wrestling back then, and people always say it's fake. It's not fake, it's scripted. Those falls really do hurt. But I thought about that first when I heard the news, and I thought, okay, how do her qualifications play into this position? And I started doing some research, seeing that she did build an organization that went from like 800 employees and grew. So she's got experience building a business, okay? They co-founded WWE, which has a market capitalization of $1.5 billion more than 3 decades ago. So she's got experience building an organization because the WWE is big and has lifted many careers. But I said, okay, so she's got the qualifications, unlike some of these other picks. But I said, okay, so Carson, DeVos. And I thought, well, what else is there? There's got to be more than just this. And as you keep digging, that's when you hit the part you wish wasn't there. And that is her connection to Donald Trump, or her 6 million connections to Donald Trump. She donated $6 million to Trump's campaign in August and September, despite calling his comments deplorable. That's according to the Center for Responsible Politics. I'm going to include links to all the stories as well, so you know how I do. I like you to see where I get my information. Wow. $6 million donation gets you a seat in his cabinet. Gee, I wonder who we used to get upset about who did things like that. Woman, former first lady, former senator, used to be Secretary of State. I'll come back. I can't remember her name. What I find interesting here is if this was done by anyone else, any Democrat or neoliberal, any of them, whether it's President Obama, Hillary Clinton, Chuck Schumer, any of them, there'd be outrage. How dare you? This is why we didn't like you. Pay to play, corruption. And they would all be true. But when Trump does it, we only get caught up in the crazy tweets. Flag burning. Oh my God. He doesn't like SNL. Oh my God. He hires in a corrupt fashion some people who don't even have qualifications at all. And then some people who donate to his campaign. And all of a sudden, nobody has anything to say. I just want people to be fair about it. If you're not going to say anything when he does it, don't say anything when anybody else does it. If you're going to speak up when this person does it, speak up when someone else does it. I'm speaking up for all of it because I attacked Hillary for it. I attacked Democrats for it. So I'm going to attack the Republicans for it too. And if you want to see that, you can look at past episodes and you can see where me and my co-host Emmanuel did the same thing too. So $6 million in donations, and that gets you the head of the Small Business Administration. Must be good to know that there's a price to get on Trump's cabinet. Speaking of cabinet, let's go to the second one that he chose. He chose Oklahoma Attorney General to head the EPA named Scott Pruitt. So, What did Scott Pruitt do to get the position he's in now? Great question. Well, the real question is he's going to head the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency. So what's his connection to it? Like, is he big for the environment? Does he want to make sure that we protect against the mounting dangerous threat of climate change? Of course not. No. He is a longtime foe of President Obama and the EPA. In fact, he has sued Obama to challenge nearly all of his major environmental regulations, such as the landmark climate deal for power plants, as well as water rules and standards for ground level ozone pollution, haze, methane, and more. He has represented an energy company in Oklahoma. So there goes that concern and thought about maybe working with him on climate change. Wait, didn't he just meet President-elect Trump? He just met with Al Gore. And they said that they were trying to come to common ground. Is this what common ground looks like? If you have genuine concerns about climate change and the rising temperatures of our planet, which are, and setting record highs, and we're crossing points of no return, if you're concerned about that, you should also be concerned about Pruitt. Because this is keeping a trend going of Trump hiring people who have issues with the very agencies that they're now taking over. Carson had issues with HUD, Housing and Urban Development. Now he's heading them up with absolutely no experience. DeVos has Betsy DeVos has a particular viewpoint of how education should be done with school vouchers and choice. I don't agree with her approach at all because of a lot of stuff. You can see a past video I did about it, and I get into it in depth more. She's now heading education. Steve Mnuchin had some issues with how some finance stuff is done. Well, he's going to be Treasury Secretary, and now he's got issues with the EPA, and now Pruitt's going to be heading it up. This is concerning because this seems to me like a next level version of obstructionism. It's not just Congress with the Republicans saying we're going to block everything if we don't like you. Now, if you don't want an agency to act, you put somebody in charge who doesn't want anything to get done by that agency. Great move. Third pick, and then we'll get to kind of a lighter story. Donald Trump picks retired General John Kelly to head Homeland Security. Now, this one is a little mixed. I have some concerns, but I find this pick to be a little middle of the road. I think he's going to have decent success getting Kelly through because Kelly's not very like a hard right-winger on certain issues. He's going to appear to be moderate. But let me give you a little bit of information about Kelly. That doesn't mean I endorse him. I'm just kind of giving you a little bit of a feel I had when I read this. So Kelly was formerly over the U.S. Southern Command. So he dealt with South America, Central America, as a retired general with the Marines, like one of their longest serving generals. And so he's got experience dealing with like border issues. Now you're starting to see like his connection to Homeland Security. He's got a connection dealing with border issues. So this is going to be the man who's going to be in charge in dealing with Trump's policies on the wall, which now, according to Trump, may just be a glorified fence. And also a possible Muslim registry, which, while we're counting, let's not forget that the Trump transition team's official position has not ruled out a Muslim registry, which I will fight tooth and nail every single day if that even becomes a talking point in DC. I'm not even going to wait until they try to do it. Once they start talking about it, I will fight a Muslim registry for my Muslim brothers and sisters. One thing I want to keep in mind when it comes to him is that he is pretty harsh about like drugs coming into the United States and thinking that we're not paying enough attention to that and undocumented immigrants. So I do have a concern about what this could mean when it comes to his approach with immigration. Now, there is a little bit of issue on the right wing when it comes to him because some people feel like he's not harsh enough, which to me is a positive because I don't want somebody that harsh with immigration. Personally, I think we have ways to solve it without sending ICE into people's homes and breaking up families. But one thing that really got my attention is that he lost his son in Afghanistan. His son, Marine Second Lieutenant Robert Kelly, was killed when he stepped on a landmine in Afghanistan in 2010. So he does actually have experience with loss in war. And so that kind of hit me, reading that, because he's human. Hopefully we will have someone who is not quick to send troops into other countries, knowing that others could lose their lives and families could lose loved ones in a similar fashion that he lost his son in Afghanistan. Other things, General Kelly oversaw operations at the detention center at Guantanamo Bay, commanded U.S. troops in Iraq. So it's going to be very interesting how he considers dealing with counterterrorism, immigration, something we need to keep our eyes on when it comes to him. So far from what I've read, I'm not a fan of all these military generals being in the cabinet, not even joint chiefs of staff, but just the cabinet of Trump, because I would like for us to be less interventionist. I'm tired of regime change. I'm tired of intervening in all these countries. We're bombing like 7 countries right now under President Obama, who said that he was going to be scaling it down when he ran for office. That hasn't worked. That's a concern I have. I'm tired of bombing people, especially brown people, especially Muslim people. I'm just tired of all of it. And I would really love if, I don't know, we took that money and gave Flint clean water. Just small things, I guess. Last story I want to end with, kind of a light story. Samsung has just decided to steal one of Apple's best ideas again. And this is the jet black. So if you follow iPhones and things, you know that iPhone released with the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, the jet black color. Scratch is easy, but it is a pretty color to look at. Been very popular, specifically with the 128 gigabyte models and 256. Those are the only ones that Apple makes it for. Well, Samsung was like, hey, we've stolen a lot of ideas from you before, and vice versa. Everybody steals from everybody. Why don't we steal that one? So Samsung has decided to come out with a new color. It's called Black Pearl. And if you're like me, you thought of Pirates of the Caribbean. But they're coming out with one. It is Black Pearl. It's 128 gigabyte capacity. This is the S7 Edge. Okay, if you're a fan of that phone, I've seen it, been impressed with it, but I'm going to be going to the iPhone route personally for a lot of other reasons that may be covered in another video. So I thought we could end with a little bit of a light story. I've got some more videos coming up, some ideas. I really, in the future, want to talk about what's going on with the Democrats because they don't seem like they've learned their lessons. And there's just a lot coming up with the news. I'm going to include links to all the stories because it's my goal to give you the facts and let you know where I stand and then hear from you. Like, I want to know your thoughts. Tell me what you think about these picks because maybe there's something you know that I don't. Maybe you have a completely different viewpoint. I would love to hear it because you may inform mine even better. And so I thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed and I will see you next time.